New Zealand, the UK, Mexico. What do they all have in common? All places I've tried to record videos in massive amounts of wind. So hopefully you can actually hear this and I won't have to do 900 takes like I normally do. I wanted to record a quick video this morning from our new home in Mexico. We're in the east side of the Yucatan Peninsula in Playa del Carmen. No, it's still really windy here. I'll hide around here. And I was just writing an article this morning for another website, and I was writing about the topic of self-awareness. As some of you may realize, self-awareness is the first pillar, the first step in my 5-step mentoring program. For me, it's the most important part of the journey to becoming an entrepreneur, to designing your business, or if you already have a business, to aligning it with you and your character. Without self-awareness, you don't know you haven't got clear strategy on what your strengths are. You can't mitigate your weaknesses. A lot of people out there have misperceptions about what their strengths and what their weaknesses are. I know I certainly did. I spent years thinking I was extremely self-aware, but it was only when I started digging deeper and looking to design a business around me that I realized I was actually quite far off in a lot of areas. Things like I don't like detail, and I judge myself for that. In reality, I'm just better at the big picture thinking, and I should be designing my business around that, rather than trying to work on something I don't enjoy and I'm not very good at. What about the people out there who criticize themselves being an introvert? Instead of actually rewarding themselves and saying, look, as an introvert, there's lots of areas of a business you can specialize in that an extrovert doesn't necessarily like to get involved in, or gets too distracted, or gets too bored, gets bored too easily, sorry. So there's lots of things out there that you may or may not be aware of, and also that you may be aware of, but you may be framing it in completely the wrong way, which is not only disempowering you, it's probably preventing you from actually starting. As another scooter there, no wind, but scooters instead. Not only is it disempowering you, but it's also preventing you from starting your own business in the first place. So for me, the first step in getting self-aware, a little exercise I like to do with my clients, is to figure out what your flow states are. For those of you who don't know what a flow state is characterized by you performing a task, head down, time flying. You're challenged by what you're doing, but ultimately you succeed. You absolutely love it, and by the time you finish, you don't know where the time's gone. And most importantly, you are energized by what you've done. You've got more energy at the end of the task than when you started, and that's what separates something that defines a flow state from something you're just naturally good at and a learned skill. So find out what characterizes a flow state. What flow states have you been in throughout your life? Whether you're a kid, whether it was a work situation or a social situation, whether it was sporting, whatever it might look like. Think of those times and you performed something extremely well, you succeeded, you really enjoyed it, and you were energized by it. Now, what characterized those situations? Try and get as granular as you can. Who was around you? What environment were you in? What impact did you make? What role were you performing? What task were you actually carrying out? The clearer you can get on those details, the more you can then try and spot trends between those 3 examples or 5 examples if you can think of. The more the merrier, and the more detailed you can get, the clearer you can paint the picture. So have a go at that, see what you think, see what you come up with. Is there anything that cropped up that surprised you? Is there anything that confirmed things? Was there any common trends that cropped up in between the different scenarios? And I'd love to hear your comments, so if you do want to ask any questions or clarify what you found out, then please do let me know. Hopefully this helps. Enjoy.